Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked. We by the way just got in town. And I won't let you meet us cloud. It's all in the sky. Ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often. But since recruiting isn't an option due to unusual rain and thunder, baby, I wonder, baby, I wonder, put your sweats on me. I got the plug, I'm in the car. Talking late night, girl. Let me lay you back down on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Hey. Come through and chill. What's up? Hey, what's up? Kawana in the house. How is everyone? How is everyone? Welcome to Earth School. I am so happy to see you all. Welcome. Welcome, you guys. Kai Fi. I should teach y'all a Wolof word every time I come in here. Kai Fi. It's come here. Hey, Mena, how are you? Welcome, you guys. Welcome to Earth School, another episode. 6 p.m. Eastern time every single day. Are y'all proud of my consistency? I am proud of me. This is happening. This is being done. Yes, y'all. Okay, so this will even help me. Okay, today's Wolof word is come here, Kaifi. Okay, even if you're not gonna move to Senegal, if you Black and you American, you deserve to learn an African language. It is our right. Yes, right. Word of the day, exactly. I'll give you guys a few more seconds to come in. Today's topic, we're going to talk about my favorite topic of all. I can talk about this in a million different ways. We're going to talk about, what are we talking about? What is this even called? It's about the brain, but what is this about? It's about, it's basically, okay, totally don't know what I wanted to name it. It is practicing feeling. That's what it's about. Practicing, like the power of feeling. I just don't know what I wanted to name this episode, but the power of feeling being the secret. I'm going to try and break this down in the simplest terms, and then also read a passage in the end from Neville Goddard's book, Feeling is the Secret. And so let's get into it. Let's get started. First, we start off with our breaths, our 2 deep breaths, pulling everything in that we've dealt with and felt from the day and pushing it out. For those of you who don't know, or this is your first time listening, my name is De La Soul, and this is Earth School. On Earth School, we do these breaths every day to release what we've been holding on to and to feed our brain the really good spinal fluids, the nutrients that come throughout our spine. So on 3, Let me put the banner up. On 3, let's breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Going in. In. Hold it. Up. Pushing your navel to your back. Hold it just a little bit longer. And release. Nice. One more time. This time we give it our all. This is opening your core, strengthening your core. This is good for men, your prostate. This is good for women, our uterus. This is just something we should just do. All right. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Pull it in. In. Push it up. Suck it up some more. Suck it in. Up. Hold it a little bit longer. And release. Yes. Whew. Say you didn't feel that. I know y'all can feel that. It's real. Okay, so getting into practicing feeling, I just want to put this on y'all's dome. I just want to bring this into the light. I'm going to talk about the secret of feeling, or the manifesting, the key to manifesting being feeling. I'm just going to talk about it all the time. If y'all been with me, then you already know. I'm going to program you guys to pay attention to your feelings. And I do mean that in a literal sense, because even without me doing my sessions, when I'm just coaching and I'm talking about this, people tell me all the time, like they literally, it's just about your awareness. Once you're aware of something, sometimes it's things that you already knew. But then it's like when someone brings it to your awareness, it's like, And I get messages all the time from people that's like, yo, like today I paid attention to my feelings. Like I really was like realizing what I was feeling. You know how important that is? That's your inner dialogue. That's super important. So we're going to talk about practicing feelings being the ultimate way that we manifest here. So the thing about feelings that I love, this whole knowledge of what feelings really is that it's a universal language. Feelings remind me of numbers. These are like two things in this life that no matter what you are, whether you're a thing, you can be an object, you can be an animal or a human being. And just like numbers, it's something that feelings is something that doesn't have to be taught. It's something that's just naturally here. My window is open, so you probably just heard the motorcycle go by. It's something that's naturally here, whether it is in our human awareness or not, whether we study it or not, whether we focus on it or not. I'm using numbers as an example because this is just my nerd brain, that this is just the best way for me. So numbers is also a thing that I talk about, how you're a number, I'm a number. Every single thing could be calculated. Everything can be measured into a number here. And so same thing with feelings. It's just something that's just here. Like we didn't have to be taught it. It's already in existence. It got to be something that was created by God. It got to be something that source created. It goes with the collective consciousness of this world, because we come through right away and there goes feeling right there. Whether we realize it or not, because I know that we think that kids don't have any feelings, up until you turn like 10, we're like, come on with the motorcycle now. I don't know if y'all can hear that as loud as I can. But so yes, feeling is a universal language that no one has to be taught. It is already in existence. It's already here, whether we realize it or acknowledge it or not. So why does feelings work to manifest? Like, what is the thing about feelings working to manifest? So the simplest way that I explain this is because feeling is a vibration. Feeling is it's a mood, it's a vibe, right? You ever heard, well, I know we've all heard like, that's my vibe, or I like this person's vibe. Like, what are we saying when we say that? Whenever you're saying, oh yeah, I like their vibe, or the vibe in this place is really nice, what do you think you're saying? You're saying the vibration, and you're talking about the way that it makes you feel. So there's a couple of synonyms here. Feeling is a synonym for vibration. Vibration is a synonym for frequency. Vibes, feelings, vibrations, and feelings, it's all the same thing. Frequency is all the same thing. And so you are a vibrational being. You have a vibe. You have vibes that you give off to people, especially sensitive people, you people that deal with anxiety, that are super connected to source, empaths. You guys can really feel the vibes coming off of someone. And we all have a vibe. So this is not a debate. This is a vibrational place. I just proved it to you. It's just something that we don't even need science. We can go to science, but we don't even need science to tell us that this is a vibrational world, that everything has a vibe. Okay? And so this is a holographic world, because what does frequency do? When I say frequency, I'm talking about vibes. I'm talking about vibration. They are literally all the same thing. There's no difference. They all travel, and they're all very real for our human experience. And so what does frequency do? Frequency matches. It matches. It's the best example I can give you is like a radio station or a radio. And, you cannot listen to a certain station and not be tuned on to that station. It has to match whatever the channel is on. That's going to be what's coming out, like your vibration, like this realm. So frequency matches. And so if frequency matches, this is how we really start to understand the concept of how we create our own realities, how our thoughts become physical things. Because we hear this all the time, but it's almost like a trick of the mind when no one is really explaining it. It's almost like, yeah, I get it, but what do you actually mean? Like, how though? And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm breaking down in so many different ways. There's actually a couple of things that this conversation can bring out. But what a feeling is, what a vibration is, frequency, all the same thing, and how it has to match. It's just something that we can't deny. It's just it. If I'm sitting in front of you, I can give you a vibe without even moving, without even changing my body language. If I decide to do that, it's going to give even more of a vibe. It's going to be even more obvious. But just from my thoughts that dictate my feelings, I can give you a vibe. And if you're in tune enough, you can be like, especially if you know me, what's going on? Like, what is it? What's wrong? Don't you love that about your friends? Even going deeper into women in our minstrels, the way that we sync up, that we link up and then sync up, and our periods end up happening at the same time. How do we think that takes place? That's a vibrational thing. That's a frequency match. So that's what we're constantly doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's why you're always manifesting your reality. So your vibration inside you matches the vibration outside, like a radio station. For example, when people are happy, you can tell, right, based off of their environment. So you can go into someone's space and be like, okay, this person is at peace. I can tell by the way they made their bed this morning. I can tell by how clean this floor is. I can tell by the ambiance. You can feel the vibe. Anytime people come to my home, when they come into my room or my home, this is one of my favorite compliments that I get from people. And they just be like, the vibe in here. I actually love this compliment because it's what people would always tell my dad. and it's very true. Like he just has like this lo-fi vibe. And so I just love that I ended up picking that up from him, and people end up telling me the same thing. But that's just a really good example. If someone walks into your space that you've created, they can feel the vibe. And we know how it is because we've all dealt with some level of depression. What does it feel like when you walk into the house or the room of someone that's depressed? Or I should say, what I mean to say is, okay, we already know we're talking about feeling, but what does it look like? Because I'm proving to you how your reality matches what's inside of you, what you're feeling inside, right? So when someone is depressed, when someone is low, what do you see? Normally, you're going to see that they haven't cleaned up, right? This is whenever it's an obvious thing. It might not be any sunlight coming through. This is real. This is what it is. I'm always telling people, pay attention. If you go to your friend's house, and if their house, unless they just dirty, okay, that's different. But if you know that they're not, clean up for them. Like help them clean up, because they're going through it. Even if they're not saying it, even if they're joking and smiling, you can tell by a person's environment. That's the 3D telling you what frequency is going on inside of someone. More proof that our feelings, our vibrations is what creates this thing, is what creates our reality. So another example is we're talking about how, right? I'm telling you the reasons of how feelings, why feelings are beyond writing things down and speaking things out, which we'll get to in a second. So everyone's truth is their truth based on what they see, believe, and feel, which feeling is what takes over the see and believe. It's the same thing. If you see it, you believe it, you're going to feel it. You're feeling it. So everyone's truth is their truth based on what they feel, right? Based on what they see, what they experience. Can you change anyone's mind who is stuck on believing and seeing things the way that they experienced it? No. Only they can do that. So that just shows you how, like, it really is the reason why it's your, like, why you're creating your reality is because it's your experience. We could be looking at, we could watch the same movie. We can watch the exact same movie, and we could even have similar experiences in the past and still totally get totally different outcomes from that. Or we can be looking at the same exact picture, the same photo, or we can be in the same environment and feel something totally different. Or we can have been with the same man and have a totally different experience. Okay, I'm just giving y'all examples, okay? It's all about your individual self. It's all about your journey. This is why no one else's journey matters. This is why you got to let people be on their own journey. Speaking to myself, this is a reminder for myself. I think this is a reminder for parents too. Everybody's on their own journey. And you know that they are, because you can't change nobody's mind. Even if you technically, if you want to be technical, you change somebody's mind, it's really them changing their mind. If you can convince someone of something, that's still them doing that. Like, you might have brought them proof and information, but it's them that has to decide. They are the creators of their own reality. It is them. It is you. Okay? So if you can believe in writing things down, if you believe that speaking them out works, we know that there are scriptures from all types of different religious texts that talk about speaking things out, right? I think that most of us, no matter what you believe in the power of speaking, the power of word. So if you can believe that, then you must believe that feeling it is even more potent, that it's going within and manifesting like never before. It's a completely different level. It literally is, it is speaking it out and it is writing it down, but it's not saying it, because when you write things down and when you speak them out, the whole way that they even work is because you had to have felt it. It's a feeling of it. This is how magic really works. And when people who are into doing magic and using things of the earth to, do your magic thing, you know that it can't work unless you feel it. Otherwise, it's just obsolete. You're just using tools. This is why it's like, do you really even need to use tools? There's no greater tool than your mind. That is how you manifest. So when it comes to writing things down and speaking them out, if I get to reading Neville Goddard's book, then I think that the passage that I'm reading mentions this. But there is a big difference in I want this. I am going to have this. This right here is such a huge secret in manifesting. I think that the majority of people make the mistake when you are writing things down and speaking things out, we make the mistake of talking about things as if it's happening in the future. That is disconnecting you from brain and heart coherence. You don't end up feeling it. You feel it as if it's going to happen one day. But there's a major difference in I will and I am. I am. Why do you think in the Bible when the disciples asked Jesus, what do we call God? He said, call him. He said, I am. His name is I am. It is you, right? Source can't live in you and you not be it. So we are supposed to be in I am when we're creating, because that's what we came here to do. We came here to do two things that is so natural, right? Feeling and creating, they're the same thing. That you could even say that creating is a synonym for feeling, because it is doing that. When you are creating, you are feeling it. You cannot do one without the other. When you are feeling, you are creating. So I am is standing in the truth of I am. It's standing in the present, and it's saying that this is what it is now. And if I'm trying to manifest anything, if I'm saying I will have, then I've already decided, I've already told my subconscious that one day maybe it can happen. That I have will for it to happen. But if I say I am, that's a completely different ball game. A really good example of when I first learned to the difference in this is when I first started doing Young Living. I first started helping people transition their lifestyles with essential oils. And Young Living is like, oh my God, talk about like a good business. I feel like Young Living is like one of the greatest companies that kids can like, or teenagers, if you wanted them to start like a legit business, because they teach you really good business strategies. They teach you about manifesting and about love in business. It's so weird. Like I can't even get into it right now because I'm trying to be on time with this. Why is it already 22 minutes? Did that make sense? It's been 23 minutes. That makes no sense. Okay. So with Young Living, I wanted to start making money. I started using the oils and the products and stuff, and then I found out that there was a way to make income. And I don't even know what did this for me. I can't even say like what I would have read or what would have, maybe it was my long year. Like I had so many years since I was a teenager of writing things down to manifest, of writing I will have, I am going to. So maybe I just got tired of that. I feel like it was just like a knowing that just came upon me one day. And I just stopped writing about the future and I started writing as if it was present. And I kid you not, this is a true story. This was actually the second time that I started making money with Young Living. And I made money so fast with them that they called me. Young Living called me and was like, what are you doing to make, like, what is happening? Because it was nothing and then it's a lot. Like, what did you do? And I explained to the girl that what I did was I changed my affirmations and my writing down from will and going to is and am. Now I was using the essential oils as well, which is also in other religious texts in the Bible, using oils to manifest and to pray. So I would literally write down, I made so and so money this month. I am making this much money this month. This many people are signing up this month. And then I would do my little design with essential oils. And I kid you not, I'm not even playing. Every single month, whatever amount that I said I was doing that month, that is the amount that I made. It could have been a couple of cents off sometimes. And that's what I explained to the lady. I'm like, look, I can't even not. I ain't even gonna lie. Like this is what I've been doing. And she said to me, that sounds about right. She's like, that sounds about right. So that's just one example. I'll give a lot more examples later about creating things with your mind in the now. But it's definitely a huge difference when you are not just saying it, but you are feeling, I am. I am doing this now. And you could even take it a step further. This is even a step further when it comes to manifesting. If you thought that you couldn't get any further from going from affirmations to literally feeling it, you can go a step further to feeling it as if it's already happened. Feeling it as if it's already happened. That's an entire another level. That's a quantum leap. That's what I call a quantum leap into the future that you desire. Even earlier today, I made a post. I might as well just read this post now since we're here on this subject. Because it's the same thing and you have to feel it. Ooh, dang it. I didn't even put it in my thing. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. My bad. So I said Mark 11:24 literally tells us that the law of assumption is real. I talked about the law of assumption in one of my recent Earth School episodes on being in receiving mode. This scripture, like so many others that back up the things I speak on with meditating, prayer, and the power of our minds, says, pray and assume that it is already done. That is, pray as if your desire has been fulfilled already, and it will be so. Manifesting is easier than what we make it. So, what I'm talking about here is taking it a step further from feeling it now. Like, already, like, get rid of wanting to feel it. Get rid of, I'm going to do it. Just get rid of that. Like, manifesting is happening slow because of that. We're manifesting on a slower level. We're trying harder in the 3D. Even though some things can be challenging and you might have to try hard with some things, God never meant for us to be trying as hard as we do. Source never meant for that to happen. But we are not seeing things as if they're here now. We're not praying as if it's already taken place. You know the way that the majority of us pray, right? The majority of us are like, please, God, please, if you just do this thing for me, if you just do this, God, I swear to God, I'll do this. We're praying from a total opposite place than what the Bible and the Quran even tells us to pray. So when you pray as if it's saying the same exact thing, you can't pray as if it's already happened if you don't feel it. And maybe the original text even talked more about that. According to Neville Goddard, it did. So it's really about feeling it as if it's here now. And if you want to take a step further, feeling it as if it's already taken place. Okay, let me read some comments before I go on. It might be impossible for me to have a 30-minute show. Okay, let's see. Yes. Okay, yes. You feel me, Manna? Exactly. Manna, am I saying it right? Manna, that's right. So, let's see. Yeah, this is about feeling is about going into your deepest depths. What you feel is real to you, and the universe has to match it. So I pretty much already touched on that. That's frequency. Frequency that always travels. It's like your soul, it never dies, it travels. You are a ball of you are frequency in a suit. That's what we are here. You're a frequency in a suit. You're a vibration in a suit with a bunch of blood and bones and cells around it. That's the simplest term to what you are. You never truly die. Don't we say that when people pass? So the universe matches what you are feeling inside. And not because you are delusional. It has nothing to do with, oh, okay, well, this person is just crazy. It's because if you are truly feeling it, then you are living it, you are thinking it, you are doing things surrounding and towards it. Essentially and eventually, you are creating that for you. So I love this part that I wrote here, because when I am coaching people, I'm always saying people be in denial, and we be coming with so much ego. We be like, especially if you already know about some of this stuff. Oh no, I'm always manifesting my reality. I meditate every day. I do my affirmations every single day. I'm always besting my reality. Oh yeah, I know where I'm going. And all of this sounds great. I love it. It's beautiful. But I'm all about like I'm really about like the leveling up here, like this matrix that we're in. And so if you really are about leveling up here, then you're not lying to yourself. One thing I do a really good job at is telling myself the truth, because I want to elevate. I want to get to the next level. And if I can be honest, I don't want to come back here. Okay? This has been a goal of mine since I was like 5. I don't want to come back to earth. So, in order for this to take place, I need to be paying attention. I need to be leveling up, and I need to not be lying to myself. And it's one thing to say, I know that I'm going to be a millionaire in 10 years. I am going to do this. I see myself here in so and so years. But it's another thing to feel it. You can literally be saying something that you're not feeling. And this is why you've heard me talk about why I don't like affirmations anymore. Like, I don't like the word affirmations, even though they can still be powerful. I mean, has proven, neuroscience has proven that affirmations can be powerful. But I don't like the term affirmation, because affirmations are so trendy now. We're doing a lot of talking and not enough doing. And I can vouch for this, because I've experienced this. I've experienced talking and thinking that I'm doing it, but then having to face reality. Like, this is not even really how I'm living my life every day, though. I'm saying that, like, how dare me say in 5 years I'm going to be a millionaire, but then I'm not even waking up every day doing shit that will get me to be a millionaire. Or how dare me be like, this is my year. This is the year I'm coming out. I'm being financially free this year. But then I'm not doing anything that's actually going to get me financially free. What does that take? It takes waking up early in the morning. It takes being disciplined, being on my routine, right? So everything got to match, just like your frequency. You got to keep it 100 with yourself. You can literally be saying, and the majority of us are saying one thing and then doing a complete other. And we be mad at ourselves. Like, when shit don't happen the way that we planned it, we be like, what in the world, life? If it ain't one thing, it's another. I don't understand. I did everything, but you didn't, though. It's impossible. Like, I can't even believe you, just like I couldn't believe myself. I can't even believe you if you tell me that you have been feeling it every day, and you have been waking up just like that thing, and you've been doing this for 6 months to a year, and you don't see major progression. You're not closer than you ever been. Impossible. It's impossible. It's just not the way this realm works. It really is this simple, guys. Now, the hard part is the discipline, is actually doing it, right? But the way that the rules to this, the laws to this, the way it works, if you think about it, it's simple. We overcomplicate it. So you have to be feeling it, and you always know if you're not feeling it when you are not doing it, when you're not waking up every morning and feeling that. If you want to lose weight, if you want to gain weight, or just shape your body in any way, you got to wake up every day and feel like that. You got to wake up every day and feel like that is happening. You can't continue with the diet that you've been doing, that going away from your goals. If you're trying to tone your muscles, you gotta do some work, right? You gotta match what you want, so it can be what it is, so that your desires can become your haves. It can no longer be something that you want anymore. It's something that you have. And think about that, from wanting to having. You're also no longer, like, the difference with feeling something is you don't have that anxiousness anymore. Think about this. When you are really on this vibration of feeling it as if it is here right now, like the scripture says, There is no more anxiousness. You're no longer nervous about this. You go away, like you do away with that because you believe it, right? You're in it. It's happening. It's already in your vortex. Like I like to say, my money is my millions or whatever. It's already here. I just can't get it in my or I can't see it in my bank account yet. But it's already here, and that helps me feel it. Because the trick of the mind is like, okay, but for real though, for real, I'm not the size that I want to be, or I'm not, I don't have the relationship that I want or whatever. It's the trick of the mind. It's really the difference between your conscious brain and your subconscious brain. Your subconscious is where your feelings are. Your conscious brain is what tells your subconscious what to feel based off of your reality, based off of what you see. And we're not supposed to go off of what we see. If everybody that has made themselves successful went off of what they see, no one would make themselves successful. Because if you read anyone's story, they're always coming from sleeping on their mama's couch. It's always some crazy struggle story. So if we were manifesting what we want through going off of our conscious beta brain, what our reality is, then we wouldn't make it. You have to go deeper than that. You have to go into your subconscious, into what you feel, right? Because frequency matches. And so, again, that's how you know if you're really doing it or not, because you got to ask yourself, am I waking up every day? Am I actually doing this? Am I living like this is happening? And this is why this episode is called Practicing Feeling, because I believe that it is a training and it is a practice that has to take place. You're not going to achieve this overnight. It takes some time. It takes you programming yourself. You need to wake up every day and put on the audio or the video of the thing that you want. Or going further, the thing that you are now, right? The thing that you have now. You got to program yourself. So it really takes that. This is if you want to get to that level of manifesting. This is if you want to practice your feeling and start paying attention to the way that you feel. It also means that when it comes to paying attention to the way that you feel, that you are not entertaining feelings that don't match what you want. And this right here is a word for me. Because I've been trying to do this more than ever with the particular scenario in my life. And I know that it's happening the way that I wish, but my mind wants to play with me. Your mind is your enemy every day until you make it your friend. If you see me say that, your mind is your enemy every day until you make it your friend. So every day, every single day, sometimes every moment of the day, you got to pay attention and rewire that thing. You got to check yourself, check your thoughts. Okay, wait, this thought isn't serving me. If the thought isn't serving you, it means that it's not going to help with the feelings of what you want to, of what you desire. It's not going to help you match that radio station that you are. It's not going to help you to be able to be on the frequency of what you want to see, what you want to listen to. So it's really important that you're paying attention to what you're feeling, or I should say what you're entertaining, because what you're entertaining, it directly affects your feelings. You are welcome, Mena. Yes. So, okay, 39 minutes, not bad. Um, Okay, so let's look at believing and feeling you are sick. Believing and feeling you are sick. Just talking about disease right now. Some of you guys know this. I love talking about this because I feel like it doesn't really matter what your belief is. I feel like people that are not even on this kind of stuff, when they hear it, it's just a knowing. Like some of us as a collective, or I should say all of us as a collective, there's some things that we have that are just a knowing for us. And you just sometimes have to hear it and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. And so when we talk about disease, we talk about sickness and what you feel. This is a real thing. A lot of holistic practitioners know, like, the biggest practice, or the biggest thing that you're going to do in your practice, if you're a healer, if you're healing people from physical bodily things, the thing that you're going to spend most of your time doing is convincing people that the disease that they were diagnosed with isn't theirs, that it doesn't belong to them, that it's not something that they have to adopt and be. That's the most you're going to spend the majority of your time doing that, because what people feel when they have been told that they are sick, or that they're going to die, that they have cancer, that whatever this bad thing is happening in their body, what people feel affects basically what's going to happen with that. It affects it more than what they eat, because you could even change your diet and still be feeling like you're going to die, and still be feeling like you're going to continue being sick, and it won't do anything. Truth. A lot of people have changed their diets and been like, I don't understand. I took out all the yeast. I took out all the the breads and the sugars. I don't understand what happened. It was your mind. Your mind dictates what you feel. So going further, it was your feeling. How were you feeling every day? And there is story after story, proof after proof, book after book, study after study, that this is the truth. I'm just speaking about practicing feeling when it comes to sickness and disease. I'm just speaking about this to help you understand how much it pertains to every single part of your life. Because if you can believe this on the level of sickness, then you got to believe it for anything else, for that thing that you want, or that place that you want to move to. Same thing. And if you can believe this for a negative thing, because it seems like it's easier for us to understand this concept of feeling when we're talking about something negative. If you feel bad, if you're feeling negative, if you're thinking negative, then bad will come, more bad will happen. It's just going to go downhill. It seems like more of us can grasp that concept a lot easier, but it's the same thing though. If you feel good, if you feel like you're lit up every day, if you feel like what you want is already happening, if you're feeling with joy, if you feel the love, if you're feeling optimistic, more of that is going to come. It's a frequency match. It's a law. So no matter what it is that you're vibrating on, it has to match. So I want to give some examples. Yes, thank you, Smiley Coast. I don't have time for this, y'all. I'm trying to be diligent on my time. Okay, I want to give some examples real quick though, because just like you remember, what was that book called? It's an old book. Was it Chicken Noodle Soup or something? Y'all remember those books back in like high school? They used to have us reading those books. You know, those books were made because we are reflections of each other. And when we hear people's stories, it helps it become more of a reality for us. And so I just want to share some examples with the things that I've been able to achieve through feeling. I'm not even going to say with my mind, because that's still surface. Like talking about the affirmation and the writing things down and speaking it out, that is surface level manifesting. Talking about what your thoughts are doing, how your thinking is creating your reality, that is another surface level. It's another level, but it's surface level. The deepest of the depths of the core of what you can grasp from this is it's going to be the feeling. The feeling is the deepest. That's the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. The vegan meat, I'm just playing. But that's the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Okay, so one example is, okay, so this is a good example. So these are the examples that I'm giving, is how what you feel creates your reality, right? This is the example. I'm not giving like achievement award stories, even though it's going to turn into some of that. I want to give the first thing that came to mind when I thought about this subject, and this is actually like a toxic thing, but it is what it is. I was really young. I was with my first. We have been together for like 7 years, and I can't even say that I wanted to be pregnant. I can't even say that. I can't say that I wanted to. I know that he did, but I can't even say that that's really what I was feeling. But I will say that I did think that I was. I was very convinced that I was pregnant. And so I'm like 17 years old. I'm so, well, okay, wait. No, I wasn't. I was like 15, 16. And I was so convinced that I was pregnant that my body began to be pregnant. Literally, I was having morning sickness. My belly was huge. We all thought I was pregnant for like a good like month. Could have went into 2 months. Dead ass. This is a true story. And when I've shared this story, there's other women that have had this experience too. It's just we're just talking about proof of how what you feel it really will it will shape your reality. It can even shape your body. And so I literally started to be pregnant without being pregnant because that's what I felt. I started to feel it. I started to have all the symptoms of it. I was having weird cravings, and my belly literally was huge. And y'all, I was not pregnant. Isn't that amazing? That was probably like one of my first experiences to what you can do with your thoughts, with your feelings. If you feel something, this shows you how careful you got to be with your thoughts. How could you not have to be careful with your thoughts if they dictate your feelings, and your feelings will start to shape your reality? Another thing was Another example is how I healed myself from diastasis recti and prolapse. So after me having COAST, which was not even that long ago, 5 years ago, I developed diastasis recti and prolapse, which is very common. I think it's like one in every fifth woman ends up getting this. Most of us do not know we have it. We think that we just have like a big gut. We actually start doing exercises that make it worse. And this is so diastasis recti is whenever your muscles that stretch out, your inner muscles that stretch out whenever you get pregnant, they don't come back into place, and there's like this gap in between, and it's kind of like it makes your insides bulge out. And then prolapse is whenever your uterus drops, or it just depends on what kind of prolapse you have. It could be your uterus, it could be anal, whatever. I think it's just two, anal and uterine prolapse. And basically it drops a level. And this can happen when you're without even having a child. It can happen just riding a bike, horse riding. There's young girls that end up developing prolapse. And so the reason why I love giving this example is because these are two things that I changed with my mind. I did a little bit of physical work because sometimes that's what it takes. The majority of the time, that is what it takes, is some physical work, right? But 80% of this was my mind, no cap. And this wasn't even a dis-ease type of thing. This is about my body having like a physical thing that needed to shift. In order to fix these issues, my organs had to, and based on the way that I felt is how I was able to do it. I also did the technique that we do in the beginning of this with a little bit more depth. But I started off really relaxing my body and literally feeling myself. I would visualize myself with a flatter stomach because, contrary to what you guys could believe, I was looking like 5 months pregnant. That's what diastasis recti will do. It'll have you out here looking pregnant. Seriously. And it's really degrading. It's really embarrassing. Like it changes women's lives, both prolapse and diastasis recti. And so it was really depressing for me. I actually developed it when I started my Woman Tree company, and I was traveling and teaching women how to take care of their wombs. Isn't that funny? Like, look how life does. Life is like, oh, you want to teach women about their wombs? Let me show you about let me show you how to fix your womb. Let you have this personal experience. This is a part of your journey. Let's go on this ride. So it was a huge thing for me, and I dealt with it for like 2 years because I didn't believe that I could really change it. And even when I stumbled upon the knowledge from like Jose Silva and other doctors and neuroscientists that would prove it, I just still could not get into it for myself. It was really hard until I tried it one day. I was actually living here when we first moved here, and I just did it with ease this time. I didn't try. Like, I just said, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to have fun with it. This is really how you manifest. We're not supposed to be manifesting with a bunch of fear and a bunch of anxiousness. So what I realized is that when I approached this with my mind, with my feeling, and I did it with ease, feeling love, feeling excitement. And when I tell you, within less than 6 months, I went to the gynecologist. She was like, "Oh my God, you could teach a class on muscle traction, which is what you need to get rid of prolapse." True story. This all happened when I moved here. And it happened because I was literally feeling it every day. And it happened so naturally. Like, really, it's not supposed to be this thing where you gotta like do it so hard, because I started to feel this like when you're really doing it, it's becoming real to you. So then there is no more desire of it happening. It just became my life. And my body just began to shift. My belly just started going down. And I would be like running. I could feel my uterus dropping before this. It was really taking place. Like, I was in the Facebook groups, really going through it. So start with your mind, even without knowing the physical techniques. There's so much that you can change with your mind, because your mind is what is going to tell you how to feel. Whatever you tell your mind, that is how you're going to feel. It is how you feel. It is the feeling that does it. So how I got here is another example. You guys have heard me talk about this. I felt being here before anything. No one could tell me anything different. It didn't matter what took place. It didn't matter that I was coming here with less than $200. It was because I felt it. And I really believe that there's a thing where you lock it in. When you feel it, and it's a feeling that even you've surpassed it, you're doing the law of assumption, and you're assuming, you're expecting for this to happen. Expecting for it to happen is a good thing when we're talking about manifesting, because when you expect it in manifesting, you are feeling it. That's matching it. You are in complete confidence with that thing. And so I had locked in this move. I had already seen us here. I had already felt us here. There was nothing that no one could have said or did, because my feelings were already over here. I had felt as though I had already experienced Senegal, to the point where when I actually came over here and experienced it, it felt familiar. That's how much I had already felt it. I wasn't even shocked. It was like, oh yeah, I already been here. That's how real it has to be. Your feeling has to meet the destination before your life does. The way you feel about what you're trying to achieve, that has to come. We always want for the thing to come first. You will not reach the money. You will not get the thing if you don't feel it first. How selfish of us. Like, who do we think we are? Yeah, I'm just going to sit back and then it's just going to all come together. No, you have to feel it. I'm just going to sit back and still be negative and still be a victim and still try, and not understand why everything I'm doing is always right, but nothing is ever working. No, it's because you're not feeling it for real. You're lying to yourself. You got to keep it 100 with you. When you feel it, there's no doubt. It's 1,000%. So, I've manifested money. I've posted about this. I've manifested money in my account, random money. I'm talking about money that I had to call the bank, like, where did this money come from? No, I want to know. Even though I sit up and did this technique last night, I'm flipping out right now because it really worked. I kid you not. I have done this. I have done this multiple times, guys. And it's happened in the most mysterious, amazing ways. And the thing about practicing feeling, this is why this episode is entitled Practicing. Because when you practice it, oh my goodness, I'm feeling it right now. When you practice it, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like this, it's like your vibration gets there faster. Like you start to feel like you can literally be sad and depressed and you can just start focusing on the joy and the love and the happiness because you've been practicing these feelings of it, and then you'll just feel it like that and it'll just take over you. And if you've been following me on Instagram for a minute, you've seen me talk about this because a few months ago, I finally shared how I felt like I was on a shroom trip for like 4 months last year. If you've ever taken shrooms, then you know what I mean. Then you feel like the way that you feel this happiness and this bliss and this connection to everything. That's how I felt without taking any shrooms at all because I had practiced the power of feeling. I had really went in on the way that I wanted to feel, and I practiced how I wanted to feel every day. Practice how you want to feel every day, and it's going to become you. And I did this last year. I did this right after my birthday. I don't know what it was. I literally woke up and was like, hey, I need to start doing this. I'm tripping. I'm playing myself. I'm moving and I know I'm a master shifter, but there's levels that I am not doing. And I realized it and I just really started feeling, I really started training myself to feel in a different way. And I mean, this is the best way I can describe it, y'all. It's just raw, like true story. And all these doors started opening up out of the blue. That's when I partnered with the company No Boundaries. All these things started taking place. My spiritual journey went on a whole nother level. I started channeling like I had always knew I was supposed to. Even for my coaching, for me doing the sessions that I do today, I've been doing these sessions for years, but not like I was doing them after that because my confidence level and the way I felt just went to a whole nother degree. All the questions I had, like, am I supposed to do this? Should I do it like this? They just went away. And all these doors started opening up because I had practiced my feeling. And I've done it so well and for so long that I can do this right now. I can do it all the time. There's power in that. I'm telling you, like, it's so hard to explain. You'll have to hear what I'm saying, and then you'll have to try it and not feel it. And then one day it'll just hit you, and you'll be like, oh my God, oh my God, like because there's something inside of you. It's like a tingling feeling that you'll feel. It's like the feeling that you would feel right now if you got a notification of $10 million in your bank account. Of $10 million of your bank account, your heart is gonna drop a little. Like your heart will like skip a little because you're gonna be like, it's like a little shock. That's what you end up feeling when you're practicing feeling. When you're practicing feeling the way that you want to feel, you'll know when you got it. I'm explaining what it feels like, y'all. This is like next level stuff. This is good stuff. So you'll know when you got it because you'll have this adrenaline almost. I guess that's what it is too. It's literally adrenaline will go up. It'll shoot up real fast and it's like this thing will take over you. And I felt that for months, every single day. Every single day I was crying and I was just so happy for no reason at all. It's amazing. That's really important. That's quantum leaping. Even for those few months that I felt that, I know today, even if I have doubt, I know that what I desire, it's coming so fast because of those few months that I did that. I already did the work. I already locked it in. That's it. I could change my mind right now and those things are still going to come because I locked it in already. It's too late. That's how powerful feeling is. So, um, let me look at some of the comments. I've came across a female who've been through that. Really, I think you're talking about the prolapse and stuff. Yeah. Did I call you a girl? I hope I didn't call you a girl. I don't think I did. Because I made that mistake the other day. I was talking about that. Come on. Come on, Daylight. Get it together. I don't think I did, though. But yes. Another thing that this is just an example, and we're about to close, you guys. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to add, please share that now. I'm still giving my examples, or yeah, my real life examples. One of them is the kids and I. I'm always trying to teach them. I always am teaching them about manifesting through their feelings and how they create their own reality. And so one day I wanted to do this. This was a very long time ago. Yeshylin always brings this up, my oldest, because it happened on his birthday, so he can never forget it. And it was one morning. The skies were sunny. Everything was bright and good. And I was outside doing my meditation, my yoga stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I want to do some rain dancing with them. I think we had just went to the Native Museum too. So we were learning a lot about that. And I was like, let's do a rain dance and let's see if we can manifest the rain. And I explained to them that they had to feel as if it's coming. I talked about how the Native Americans would do this whenever there was a drought and they needed to water the crops, and how they would literally do this dancing and this chant, and they would feel this joy, and they would feel as if it was coming and it would take place. And I kid you not, the kids can tell this story one day. The rain started falling. We danced in a circle, and I was yelling to them like, feel it, feel the rain, feel the rain. And I kid you not, this is one of my favorite memories of teaching them, because I know that this is going to play a role in their future. I know that when they're questioning if they can make something happen or not, their mind is going to go to this, because it was so physical and it was so real for us. And so the rain started coming. I mean, it might have took us 5 minutes. I mean, we weren't out there long doing this. And the rain started coming, and it started pouring down raining. It started pouring down raining, and then a tornado ended up happening. It was a whole thing. So that's why Yeshylin can't forget it. And the tornado that was never dropped, like, in Oklahoma, they always have tornadoes, but in Tulsa, where I was born, the tornadoes never really like actually hit the ground. So this tornado hit the ground, and it actually stopped right behind my house. So this is like extra information. And that's not what we planned on doing. But we most definitely like to say that we created that event, because we really did feel that the rain was coming. We at least created the rain. We know that, okay? I'm not gonna say that we created the tornado. But feeling is powerful, and especially when you're feeling with other people. The scripture of when two or more come together and agree on one thing, it shall be done. They have a similar scripture in the Quran, same thing. And I'm sure a lot of other religious texts about agreeing. When you stand in agreement with someone and you guys say, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to feel, it will be done. It's impossible for it to not be done. Let me read. Salute on this one. Definitely good overstanding of your body. No one ever explained anything past physicals to men. So much to learn about health. Yes. So true, right? Yes. So that is it, you guys. Practice the feeling. You must achieve the feeling first. Achieve the feeling first. Don't expect for the thing to come without you feeling it first, especially when it's something big. Just expect for it to come and match that. How are you waking up? How are you going to sleep at night? Are you going to sleep like the person that is living in another place, and you got your homestead outside of your window and your whatever you want in your account? Are you going to sleep as if that lover that you desire is next to you? Are you feeling that love? Are you feeling that sense of security and protection, if that's what you want? This is how we manifest. This is how we manifest on a quantum level. You don't have to do this. You can manifest through speaking, through begging God, like we normally do whenever we pray, and through writing things down. You still can manifest in all those ways. That's how powerful we are as humans. You still get the job done, but it takes a lot longer than it has to. This is how you quantum leap into what you want. You do it through your feeling. I didn't get to read out of this book, The Feeling is the Secret, but I'm sure I will. I actually want to do a lot of content on these books, and I want to read them and then break them down in my own words. But I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that you can go on in your journey paying more attention to how you feel and entertaining only thoughts that make you feel good. It's so hard, but you can do it. It's so hard with reality doing what reality does, with this matrix doing what it does, but you can do it. Practice it. I'm waiting to see if there's anything else that you guys want to share before I get off. I think it's impossible for me to have a 30-minute show. I don't know why I would even tell myself I could do that. Because as soon as I just say two things and I look up, it's 22 minutes. But yesterday's show was like 40 minutes. I'll say 40, okay? My goal is going to be 40. Doing 30 is just crazy. Earth is School, this is too much. I'm dropping too many gems. Like, this is too much good stuff to try and compress this into 30 minutes. I'll have to make these episodes into videos, and that's easier for me to be able to do that. But okay, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Next time, tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget that Earth is School. And thank you for rolling with a sister. Peace out.